Okay, so I would like to welcome you to, was it something I said? And the answer is yes. Yes, it was. Um, it was something that you said. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to help people understand why people say no and what to do about it and how to understand what people are actually saying when they tell you something other than straight out no. Because the reality is that saying I can't afford it or I don't have time is not no. It's just an excuse that people give us, right? So we're going to talk about all of the objections and what does it really mean and what to actually do about it. So what I would like to do is actually open up the floor, and I would like to hear, what do you sell? I know most of you, but I want to, not everybody knows everybody, and it will give me an opportunity to use what you sell in some of the examples that we're going to share. So Margaret, what do you sell?
So the first thought that comes to me is I have to sell myself because I work with Melaleuca. So I don't sell products.
Okay.
And I don't, so technically all I do is help. I heard it explained the other day more like I'm a Costco rep. Okay. I just help people set up accounts.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. So I feel like it's having to really sell myself to attract people to have a relationship with them where they're willing to learn more.
Perfect. Okay. Sandy, what do you sell?
I sell nutrition. I'm a Beachbody coach.
Okay.
And I also sell memberships to Polka Dot Powerhouse.
Okay, good. And Samantha, what do you sell?
I am a parent consultant and a music therapist. So basically I sell better relationships between parents and children.
Perfect. Bonnie, what do you sell?
I sell peace and joy.
Love it. And then I think I saw Courtney. Hold on. I got to make my little screen bigger here. There we go. There's Courtney. I couldn't see her face in my little strip. Courtney, what do you sell?
Well, I like to think of it as a self-empowerment sponsor. I help people find healthy solutions with fitness, nutrition, and personal development. And my major tools in my toolbox include Beachbody solutions.
Okay. And then Paula doesn't have microphone, but if Paula, I know Paula does travel, but if you want to put anything else in the chat, that would be super great. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to, here we go. So now I know what you sell, but now I want to know what are some of the most common objections that you hear when you are talking with people about what you sell. So when you make an offer, what are some of the things that they say instead of saying yes right away? Margaret, what are some of the objections you hear?
I don't know that I could shop monthly.
Okay.
Or I don't know that I would need products monthly.
Okay. Good. Sandy, how about you?
Since I'm new at this and really haven't been, I've been doing Beachbody for 2 years, but I really got into coaching probably 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
So mostly now I'm hearing, because of the COVID-19, somebody in the family has lost their job, so finances are a little tight. That's pretty much it. It's just I just hear money lately. I really haven't heard too much of anything else.
Okay. Samantha, do you hear objections?
Yeah, for music therapy, they say, I don't need another therapy. Like my kid has too many therapies.
Okay.
And I haven't been told no yet for the parent consultant because I haven't talked to a lot of people about it.
Okay. What kind of objections would you predict to receive about your parent consulting?
A lot of parents are very private about their parenting and they don't want to feel judged.
Okay.
And so I guess that's what I've heard when I've done parent education in the past with families I do music therapy with, is they're like, you don't understand my family. I don't want you to judge me. You're just going to say I'm doing everything wrong.
Okay. That's good. Bonnie? I can't hear you, sweetie.
Mostly I hear the money issue.
Okay. That they can't afford it, or that it costs too much. What are they like? Have they said specifically?
Well, some people flat out say they can't afford it. Well, everybody says they can't afford it. But I don't think that's true of everybody that says it. I think that's just a way for them to say,
They're not interested.
or they're not really sure yet.
Okay.
More information.
Okay. Courtney, how about you?
I hit the chat instead of mute. Especially now, I'm hearing a lot more of it costs too much, but I also have people that say, oh, well, I don't need a shake when I offer like the challenge pack where it's the best cost solution. Or they also say, I'm doing my own thing, so I don't really feel like I need like a group or your help or
Okay.
an online workout.
Okay.
Yada, yada.
Okay. So I want to read Paula's that she put in the chat. Thank you, Paula. So she's selling herself as an expert. She provides vacation planning, arranging, and management services like a professional travel advisor. After vetting past the ones that are sure they can DIY or book online, my consultation includes realistic expectations of what they are asking for costs, still get sticker shock, or ones that ghost me. Okay. So sticker shock. People have champagne taste on a beer budget for their travel, right? Perfect. Okay, so one of the things that I hear the most when I've polled people asking what objections they hear a lot is that people don't have time, or that they can't afford it. Those were like the two ones that I kept hearing when I was asking people what objections they hear most in their business. And so when you say, I don't have time, what do you think that actually, whoops, sorry, I pushed too many buttons. Oh, where did I go? Hold on, here we go. Okay, here we go, sorry guys. So when someone says, I don't have time, does anyone want to say or what they think that actually means? I don't have time, what does it actually mean?
They're probably not really sorry.
I was just going to say
Courtney, what were you going to say?
I was going to say a lot of the times when I hear that, I'm thinking I don't want to make the time.
Okay.
Right. Like it's not a priority.
Not a priority. Absolutely. Bonnie, what were you going to say?
That it's that's probably not really the real reason, because anybody can find the time. They're just not sure yet.
Okay. Some of the things that I hear are that it's not my priority, that I don't understand the commitment that you're asking of me. So what is the time commitment? If they don't know what that is, they say they don't have time. If they don't know what's expected of them, they will also say, I don't have time, because you haven't told me what to expect. And when they say, I can't afford it, what do they actually mean when they say that?
They don't want to spend the money.
Yep.
Okay.
They don't understand the value of it.
You don't
Yeah,
understand.
right there.
Yep. So the other things that I hear are, especially if we were to picture our bank accounts like cash, right? So you may have money in savings. You may have thousands of dollars in savings. But if you have $400 in the bank account and someone's charging $500 for their service, they're going to say, well, I can't afford it. Because in their mind, they only have $400, even though they may have thousands of dollars in their bank account. Right? And so,
Correct.
right. And so in their mind, their money has already been allocated in their mind.
Right.
They don't see the value yet. So they can't quite see that what you're offering is of good value. Or they're just really not willing to change. They're not interested in change. So it may be an excuse that they use is that I can't afford it. And it really just means I'm not interested in changing. I don't want your transformation. I'm happy with my life being miserable. Some people are just content with misery, right? So one of the things I want you to think about is, how do you respond when someone makes an offer to you? If you say, I can't afford it, or I don't have time, what do you mean? So I know.
Pretty much same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So what I want to do is I want to challenge you to flip your language. And you might be like, we're supposed to be here talking about customers. Well, we are, but I want to challenge you that instead of saying, I can't afford it, I want to challenge you to say, how can I afford it? And why I want you to do that is because I want you to get into the habit of having a positive reaction with money. Unfortunately, some of us have a fear around money. And I don't know about you guys, but my husband grew up as the only child, and his parents lived paycheck to paycheck. His dad was an alcoholic, and as soon as the paycheck came, the paycheck was spent at the bar. So his immediate response when anything with money comes up, his first response is, we can't afford that. And I'm like, you don't know what we can afford, because he doesn't actually want to be involved in the finances. I do all of the finances, so I don't know how he thinks that we can't afford anything. But that's his initial gut reaction, is we can't afford that. So I have to try and help him see, yes, we can afford it, or how can we afford that? As in, if I can earn this many clients, then that could pay for that product or service. So it's literally just flipping it in a way that makes it sound more positive instead of a negative. Okay? And so when you are talking with people and they say, I can't afford that, you might be able to ask them, well, how could you afford it? Just a little shift in question. How could you afford it? What would you have to do in order to earn the income to afford my product or service? And instead of saying, I don't have time for that, I want to challenge you to start saying, that's not my priority. It sounds kind of like harsh, maybe. It might feel a little harsh, but it actually will allow you to start looking at your calendar and saying, actually, that's not a priority. It's not my priority. And that is okay to say that it's not your priority. 100% okay. So yes, we're going to talk about customers, but your language, your values, your attitude will have an impact on your leads and your customers. If you have a negative attitude towards money or time, so will they. It's like they can smell it on you. My daughter used to say, Mom, nobody's buying a car from me. And I'm like, because you stink of desperation. And when you stink of desperation, people will not buy anything from you. If if you can change your attitude and you can change your thoughts into how can I serve versus how can I sell, it's going to have a major impact. So here's a question for you. Would you try and sell someone something that they don't actually need? I see Sandy shaking her head no. No. Margaret, would you sell someone something that they didn't need?
No.
I know you wouldn't. So what is selling? Selling is, oh yeah, Paula's got she's got a good one on here. So many direct sales peeps want me to join their team. I do tell them selling something else is not a priority. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's okay. It's absolutely okay. So selling is asking questions. Really, that's what you're doing. You're asking questions. And I'll tell you this. I looked this up because I love statistics. I love facts. If you have a sales conversation over the phone or a video chat instead of through email or texting, did you know that you're 10 times more likely to get a sale?
Wait, say that again.
If you do a sales conversation or a sales call or whatever, have a conversation with people using voices and faces, you're 10 times more likely to get someone to say yes than you would if it was through text or Facebook Messenger or email. The other fun fact is that 57% of people think emails are spam, even if it applies to them, even if it's from someone that they know. They think immediately that it's spam. Isn't that fascinating? So getting people on the phone can actually be a huge way to increase your sales. So there are 3 reasons that people buy. Do you guys know what they are?
Need.
Okay.
Emotion.
Okay. So here's some fun facts. Are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
Does the value exceed the cost? So do they feel like they're getting a good deal? And it's not even that it is on sale. It's not about it being on sale. That's not what I'm trying to say. Does the value of what you're offering exceed the cost? Is it the right product for them? If it's not the right product, they're not going to buy it no matter what you do. It has to be a good fit. And the other part is, do they trust the person who's selling it or the company that is being represented? If they do not, they're not going to buy it. They have to have that trust factor. And you've all heard this. People buy things from people they know,
like, and trust.
That's
Jim Rohn,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a given. They have to trust that you are not trying to scam them. They have to trust that you have their best interest at heart. Okay? So why do you suck at selling? If you're watching this, if you're here, it's probably because you feel like you suck at selling. Anyone feel like they suck at selling? Courtney's like me. So the question is, it's not that you suck at selling. Is it, are you selling scared? Is there a fear behind the selling? And my answer is get over it. That truly is the one phrase that I'm going to tell you is get over it. So if you're scared of being rejected, get over it. If you're scared of the word no, get over it. If you're scared of someone not liking you because you offered them something, get over it. Okay? If you're worried about sounding salesy, for those in the back, get over it. You're selling something. Of course, you're going to sound salesy, right? You're selling something. It's okay. It's okay, like, to think, oh, I don't want to sound salesy. Are you selling something or not? Right? Like, honestly. So get over it. You have to get over it, because otherwise you need to find a new business. You need to find a new career. If you're not okay with selling, then find a new career if it's not your jam. But how can you actually sell to the right people? Finding the right people who want what you have to offer, and stop wasting your time trying to convince people that they need you. So we're going to talk about that. So first of all, why did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them, or did they reach out to you? If they reach out to you, you have the upper hand. If you reach out to them, now you sound desperate and come off as the chick that emailed me or that messaged me today that I've never met in my life, asking me if I wanted to sell to be her affiliate for the day. I don't know you. What are you doing? Immediately, bye, unfriended. I'm not even going to respond to you. I ain't got time for that. Don't do that. It's so icky. Like, that's salesy. If you know what I mean? If you want to talk about salesy, that's salesy. There's no relationship. I've never met this woman. She didn't even say hello. Just wanted to know if I wanted to be her ambassador for the day. No, I don't. But I don't want you chasing people. There's a difference between following up and chasing people. And you should not have to chase people to convince them that they need to work with you or that they need to buy your stuff. Can we all agree on that? No chasing people. Chasing people bad. So the other thing, when you are selling to the right people, sorry, I went to the wrong one there. We need to not assume that everyone needs your product or service, because they don't. Only the right people do. And when I hear people say, well, when I ask who's your client, and they say, well, everyone. No, not everyone. It's not everyone. It's a very specific person. So who are they? How do you find out who your target demographic is? I always say, look at your last 5 and your top 5. Your last 5 customers, who are they? Where do they come from? What did they buy? And look, how old are they? Are they married? Are they single? What's their situation? Your top 5 are your top 5 customers that you've ever done business with. They've purchased the most from you. They're repeat customers. They are your best customers, the ones you want to clone. You want all of your customers to be like them. Okay. The other thing is, have a unique offer. So if you sell something that someone else sells, what makes you different? So Sandy and Courtney both sell Beachbody. You both sell Beachbody. What makes you different from each other? What do you do that's different?
Well, I'm older. I'm looking for the 50, 60-year-olds.
Right. And you have the diabetes focus, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Right. So that's what sets you apart.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody and everybody could sell Beachbody, but they need to have something that sets them apart from everyone else. And I know that about you, because that's how you've branded yourself. So good job on that.
With your help and Cage's help, yes, I have that.
Yeah, good job. Good job. The other thing is, if they're coming to you, have they set aside funds to have you help them solve their problem? They're coming to you and saying, I want to work with you. Have they set aside the money for that?
Yeah.
Because it's not free.
No, it's not free.
They're coming to you expecting free shit.
No, right.
No.
And part of my questioning them is, what are their goals? If it's just to lose weight, that's one thing versus getting in shape, toning up, or whatever. So yeah, there's a difference. You have to ask questions on why they're interested instead of just sending them stuff.
Yes, we're going to talk all about that. I'm going to give you 3 questions that you're going to ask every single person. The other thing is, are they the decision maker? So sometimes the person contacting you is not the decision maker. So you kind of have to convince 2 separate people that you have something that they need or that you can solve their problem. So before you get onto a call with someone, you must set an agenda. And what does that mean? It means that you are setting the expectations. So I'm going to give you an example of what that means. So you could say, let's say that someone is going to needs their taxes done, and they're going to send their taxes over to someone or send their information over to someone, and the person is like, okay, we're going to have a conversation about my services. So the example could say, I want to ask you a few questions. I'm going to go over your tax documents that you sent me, and I'm going to share with you what I reviewed. And then we'll see if we're a good fit. And then what that would look like, what it would look like to work together moving forward. So basically you're telling the person before you talk to them on the phone or on video, what they can expect. You're basically telling them, I'm going to share with you what it looks like to work with me, so that they're not sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for you to make a pitch. They know in advance that you're going to make a pitch, only after you've asked them some questions to get clarifying information. Does that make sense? Okay. So where do things go wrong when you're having a conversation trying to sell someone something? Anyone know? You want to take a guess? What goes wrong?
Not enough listening.
Good, Bonnie. You talked too much. Does anyone know the rule of thumb when it comes to talking and listening in a sales conversation?
More listening and less talking.
80% listening. 80% listening, 20% talking. The other thing that goes wrong is that you didn't set an agenda. So going in blind, going in without people all having an understanding of what to expect. So if you set up a call with someone, it's okay to say, hey, this is what you can expect from our call on Wednesday. This is what you can expect. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to look over what you sent me, and then we'll talk about working together. Plain and simple. Setting that expectation is going to be the biggest difference, because if they're not interested in what you have to offer, they're going to say, oh, no, never mind. If they get on that call with you, they're expecting you to sell them something. Plain and simple. Okay? So 3 questions. Have your pen ready. The 3 questions that every person, and I'm going to use weight loss as an example here, you guys, because I just feel like it works the best. So question number 1, what do you hope this product or service will do for you? And why is that important when there's any sort of, when we talk about weight loss products and services? If they say, oh, well, I've been on all the diets, I've been on all the programs before, and I want to try this one. And they're expecting that they're going to lose 100 pounds in 3 months. Whoa, unrealistic expectations that are going to have a negative impact on you and your company when that doesn't work. So asking them what they expect to receive, what they're hoping it's going to do for them, is a huge, huge thing. So with Samantha, what do you hope this parent therapy is going to do for you? How it's going to improve your relationship with your child? Huge question, because then you'll know whether or not they have unrealistic expectations or not. You'll be like, ooh, yeah, nope, that is not what is going to happen. Let me just clarify that right now, that your expectations, I cannot deliver. I cannot make you have, you know, the perfect family. Doesn't exist. So let's get that out of our mind, right? Number 2, have you tried a product or service like this before? And if so, what were your results? So if they're like, oh yeah, I've tried every diet, every program, is that a red flag for you, Sandy and Courtney? If they've tried every single program out there, why didn't it work before? Are they expecting magical pill? Are they not willing to do the work? Did they sabotage themselves? Have they had life coaching before, Bonnie? What didn't work out? Those are important questions that you should be asking. And number 3, what do you know about our product or service? If they say, well, I know that Melaleuca is all about cleaning products. And Margot will be like, oh, yeah, we do offer a really great selection of cleaning products, but did you also know that we have essential oils and we have healthy snack options and we have, you know, things to replace your laundry detergent? You know what I mean? Like, it's a way for you to clear up any misunderstandings or maybe misrepresentations, because people's perceptions very different sometimes than reality. So it's important that you ask those questions so that you can provide them additional information if it is warranted. So the next piece is to predict the objections. So the feel, felt, found method, okay? This way, what you're doing is you're actually telling people the objections before they have an opportunity to give it to you. It's an excuse. That's really what it is. So an example is, you could say, people who, not you, but people, other people is the key word here, people. People feel that it was too expensive and felt that it was a good investment and found the more money that they made more money than they originally thought they would. They felt it was expensive. They feel that it was too expensive, but they did it anyways. And then they wound up feeling like it was a good investment. And then they found that they made more money by investing in the coaching or whatever. So using other people, and use like real people that have said, oh my gosh, this was amazing. Thank you so much for everything you did. Look at back when you first talked to them, what were their objections? And now they're saying, oh, that was so great. I'm so glad I did this. Something changed, right? They took a chance and they made it, and they switched it in their mind that, okay, I'm just going to buckle down. I'm just going to do it. I need to do this because nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So feel, felt, found. The next thing is focus on the outcome, not the process. And what I mean by this is, what are they going to get? What are they going to receive? What's the transformation? They don't care about the I'm going to use this as an example, but a friend of mine wanted to do virtual cooking classes, and she sent me her copy to go over and look over and stuff. And she was like, if I get 10 people, then I'm going to give away my apple pie recipe. People do not care about you booking 10 people in order to get an apple pie recipe. They don't care. They don't care about that process. They only care, how is it going to serve me? People are selfish and they want to know what's in it for me, right? They don't care about your process. They just don't. So what's the transformation that people are going to experience? And how does your product or service solve their problems? That's what they care about. So that's what I want you to focus on. Make a list of all the benefits, all the things, all the results that people have told you that they've received from working with you. All testimonials, that's where really good testimonials come into play. Because now it's other people's words, not just yours. So, what's a feature? What's an advantage? What's a benefit? These are other reasons why people buy. So a feature, I'm going to talk about a sunroof in a car. Okay? That's the feature. If this car has a sunroof, it's an option. It's not available in every car. It's a feature. A feature could be a reason that someone buys. I want a car with a sunroof. Okay? The advantage to having a sunroof is that you can open and close it. You can open up the shade, you can close the shade, you can hear the rain, you can keep the rain out, you can let fresh air in, get a little sunburn on your arm as you're driving with the sunroof open. Has happened to me, not even joking. I got sunburn on my wrist having a sunroof open. And the benefit is so that you can feel extra sunlight coming into your car, right? Like you get to have that extra thing. And so then it becomes, do you want this or do you want this? So I'm offering you a sunroof as an extra feature. Do you want the car with or without the sunroof? You've heard about the advantages and the benefits. Are they important enough to you to want to buy the car with or without the sunroof? So you should figure out what your features, advantages, and benefits are specifically for your business. So Paula, what is the feature, advantage, and benefit of working with a travel agent versus booking it on your own? Oh Lordy, stress, headaches, right? Not working with a travel agent, that's what you get, stress and headaches. So headache-free travel planning. Hello, can't sign me up. Let me see, I saw that there was a chat that came through. Let me see what she said. I can't, hold on. My little chat thing doesn't want to come up all the time. It's so weird. Come on, Zoom. I'll have to wait for it to pop up again.
You want me to read what Paula had to say?
Sure, thank you. I appreciate that.
Elaine is so pale that a sunroof and doesn't remember the old solid sunroof, pre-glass pane, seamless support, advocate, worry-free, getting the dream you want.
Yes, I know. I am so pale. It literally takes me just 10 minutes to get a sunburn. I'm not even joking. Not even joking. Okay, 3 options. Creating 3 simple options to working with you because a confused mind says no. So having 3 options truly is a really good way to position yourself. So do you have 3 packages? Do you have 3 options? if you only have one option, it can seem a little like, oh, well, I either have to do this or it's all or nothing. By giving people options and choices, people like, and usually they'll stick with the middle, right? You can have a super high price point. When I was doing photography, I had 3 price points for weddings, and most people went with the middle. And I was like, I structured it that way on purpose. I had a super high wedding package, so if they wanted that, boy, were they going to pay for it, right? But I also was trying to deter them from that because it was a lot of work. So if they're going to do it, then they're going to pay for it. And my middle package was more reasonable. And then I had my lowest package, which was kind of cheap. Most people went for the middle package, but I designed it that way on purpose. So do you guys have 3? Margaret, do you have 3 options for people?
Well, I was trying to think. I mean, it's definitely just the membership, but the options are that you can put it on hold if you decide that you don't want to shop every month. So right now I'm thinking those are really the only 2 options.
Okay. So, I mean, what you're doing is you're giving people an out.
Right.
And you're saying, if you find that shopping every month is too much and you've stocked up on everything you could possibly need, you could put it on hold and then come back when you're ready, within a certain amount of time or something like that. Right? Right. So in that case, you don't really need 3 because you're giving them an out in case they're like, oh, well, that's a lot. Well, but here's this thing. You don't have to actually do it that way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sandy, do you have 3 options to work with you?
Yes, the least would be Beachbody On Demand, and they can get 14 days for free and up to a year. Then you have a challenge pack that would not include the Shakeology. Or the third would be, we actually even have a 4th, but you could get the challenge pack with the Shakeology.
Okay.
So we do have steps that, they can kind of pick and choose or whatever.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So, and the 3 options should only be offered once you've asked them the questions, because those offers should be based on what they told you their needs are. Does that make sense? And then you're asking them, what's going to be easiest for you? So handling objections, these are the ones that I see the most. I need to check with someone else first before I can commit to buying, especially if it's a high ticket item. I don't have the time. The price is too high, which means I can't afford it. Okay. So one of the things that is really helpful is if you can repeat what they said to you. If they said, well, the price is too high, then you could say, I understand that you think the price is too high. What would be a comfortable price point for you? Because what you're doing now is you're asking them an additional question, because if it really is about the money, this is their opportunity to tell you, well, I can only afford $30 a month on these certain things. Then you can go, okay, do I have anything to offer in that price point? And if you're like, oh, yeah, I'm really sorry, but we don't have anything in that price point. Our lowest package is this price. Would that work for you? Right? And so it really is about asking them to clarify more specifically what it is that their objection really is about by asking them this other question. So repeating what they say and then saying, what makes you say that? What makes you say that you have to check with someone else first? Are they going to pay for it? Like, how involved in the decision-making process are they? If they actually have no financial stake in this at all, then what does it really matter if they're checking with someone else first? Do you see what I'm saying? But it's just asking that question. What makes you say that? Oh, my husband and I, we always check with each other, you know, if we're going to spend more than $100 or something like that. Oh, okay, great. When would you think you're going to talk to him about it? So always following up with another question. So questions and questions and more questions. So, man, money, machine. What is the real objection? Okay. Is it the right product for them? And you can ask them this. Is this the right, did I offer you the right product? Is this a product that you think would work for you to help you meet your goals, to help you with the transformation that you're looking for? If they're like, yes, I like the product. I like the car. I like the coaching offer that you've made me. Okay, so it's not the product. Is it me? Did I do something that you don't like me, or did I not clarify enough for you? Oh no, you did great. That's because now you've put them on the spot to ask them if you have done something that put them off. For them to go, oh no, I don't really want to do it. Is it me? Do I smell? Do I got something in my teeth? Like, what is it? And they're like, oh no, it's not you. Okay, so it's about the money. It has to be one of those things. So it sounds like it's the cost. It sounds like it's the money. Yeah, I just can't afford, you know, $3,000, da 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 da. Okay. Well, I could do payments. Great. We have a payment plan, right? Because now you've just handled their objection. They've given you more information, and now you can handle their objection. And now they're ready to go because you just solved the problem. So what's the real objection? Getting down, and my daughter told me, she said, one of the things that she uses, she sells cars. One of the things that she uses is the gift of 30,000 feet. And I said, what does that mean? She says, if you could fly above everybody and look down, you could see the facts. What are the real facts? It's not about opinions. It's not about anything else. It's about the facts. The fact is they like the car. The fact is they're there because they want a car. And the fact is they're just trying to lowball me, thinking I'm going to give them a discount because they think that car salespeople are all snakes. She's like, if I discount my car, then I'm basically devaluing it. And Toyota is a really good car, and I'm not going to devalue it. So we've had many, many conversations about this because it's just so fascinating. Like, the car sales mentality is very fascinating to me. I hate the process. I would rather pay someone to go sit in a car dealership for me. Can we just be done with this? Do I have to be here for 4 hours? Like, I don't want to. Time. It's not my priority. So, answering questions, AKA the control game. Whoever answers the question loses. What does that mean? It means that asking, what questions do you have for me, forces them to ask you a question. You want them to ask you questions so that you can answer those questions. And then I want you to answer their question with a question.
So whoever answers the question
whoever answers the question with just a yes or no, it loses. Asking questions, it's a game. It literally is about who has control over the conversation.
Okay.
Okay. And so if they say, Oh, Sandy, so what kind of shakes does Shakeology have?
Well, do you have a favorite flavor?
Perfect. So now I'm forced to ask, ooh, I like chocolate.
Well, we have a vegan chocolate or a whey chocolate. Which would you prefer?
Perfect, 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 perfect. So basically taking that question that they have and asking additional follow-up questions to force them, now I'm invested because I'm like, ooh, there's more than one chocolate option? Right? So now you've got their attention. Now you're forcing them to say that they like the product, that they're interested in the product, and asking those questions is going to basically help in their mind solidify that they're about to buy a product. Okay?
Yep.
So handling the no. I can't afford it. So here's the thing. How can you ask in another way? So the asking a question with a question, I understand that you say you can't afford it, but what could you afford? Now is forcing them to tell you more information about their finances or their budget or some crappy excuse. And you get to decide if you're like, okay, this obviously is not a good fit for you. Have a great day. Period. It's okay to end the sales conversation if you shouldn't have to try to convince anyone, and by manipulation and stuff like that, either they want it or they don't. You don't have to chase them. Remember, chasing is bad. But if they're saying, I can't afford it, they're actually not saying no. Remember? No is final. I can't afford it means I have more questions. You haven't shown me the value yet. It's not the right time. I really want to lose weight, but it's not the right time. What would you say to that, Courtney?
That's a good one. What kind of time are...
Yeah, the holidays are coming. Like, I don't want to be on a diet when the holidays are coming.
Well, how much time do you think you could incorporate into your day or week?
So what I would encourage you to say instead is, when is the right time?
When is the right time?
When is the right time? Because if like, oh, well, it's not the right time right now. When is the right time to focus on your health? When is the right time? Bonnie, when is the right time for you to start getting in control of your life and being happy and having peace and joy? Is it, oh, you want to wait 6 months to be happy?
Before it's too late and your dis-ease turns into a disease.
Exactly. So asking them, okay, so when is the right time? So what happens next? They say yes, they're on board. What do you do next? If you say, oh, here, go to my website, you've lost them. They're not going to your website. You have to make it easy and painless for them to do business with you. So what can you do to help them fill out any paperwork? Can you collect payment over the phone? Can you send them a link in order to enter their credit card information? Sending them a contract if you need a contract of some sort? Okay, great. So when would you like to get started? That should be your next question. They've said, great, I'm on board. Great, when would you like to get started? I want to get started tomorrow. Okay, great. This is what we're going to need to do. I'm going to need to collect your credit card information. I'm going to send you a contract. I'm going to send you this form that needs to be filled out. Whatever that is, you need to be specific and tell them that this is what you're doing. Do not say, oh, just go to my website and do XYZ, because it's not going to happen. It's going to come from you initiating the next step. Because guess what happens? Oh, I forgot. Oh, the kids, you know, they're not gonna do it. You have to be the initiator to make sure that the follow through happens. You could also ask, so what would you like to do? Well, I want to get signed up. Perfect. Let's get that started. This is what that process looks like. Make it easy for people to do business with you. So one thing that I want to mention is that I have a accountability program that I have been helping people like yourselves who are ready to take their business to the next level. I'm all about setting goals. I'm all about helping you create a plan and a strategy to get customers. I want to educate you about business. We do co-working parties. We do one-on-one coaching and mentoring. And I have a group with some very super positive ladies, and we meet every Monday and Friday at 12 o'clock Pacific time. I also give you access to our Talk It Out Tools Day program every 10 a.m. You also get the recordings. You don't have to pay extra for that. They're $20 a class, and it's all included. And I include a branding audit from my dear friend, Paige Engel, who most of you know. And the reason I wanted to tell you about that is because I am in the business of helping people get out of their own way to getting the business that they've always wanted. And if you're on this call, it tells me that you need help in order to say the right thing, to get the right people, to get the right customers. And Jennifer, who has been my client since December, her and I have been working together, and she is on fire just by taking the tips and the tricks and the strategies that I've given her. She has taken her business from, I'm not really sure what I want to do, to getting ready to host her first workshop so that she can start getting paid customers into her design program and her closet organization and style business. Like, she has this like collaborative interior design and closet design, style design sort of situation business. And it's been absolutely incredible to watch her growth. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I just feel like there's so much help that a lot of people don't realize what's available. And so I wanted to share that with you guys, so that if you want to have a conversation about taking the next step in your business, I'd be more than happy to talk with you about that and seeing if we're a good fit, like literally. So I would also love to open up the floor and answer questions that you might have about sales conversations and what do I do when and what do I say when. Happy to help you brainstorm and strategize through any of those problems that you might be struggling with on a regular basis.
Elaine, can you send me your schedule? Because I'd like to talk to you.
Absolutely.
About what you just talked about. But
Yep.
And I have another meeting I got to go to. So
okay, I'll send you my calendar link. Bye, sweetie.
Bye, girls.
Margaret, do you want to brainstorm?
You mean right now?
Sure.
I don't know. I was just thinking this kind of goes, I'm listening to that book that Monica Batchelor had recommended, Selling. And anyway, this kind of dovetails with that and made me see a lot of stuff concretely. I realize that every business is totally different, you
Yep.
know. So, because I was gonna say, well, mine's kind of unique, but everybody's is. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I was thinking an objection is like people are like, well, I'll have to investigate. Let me do some research on your company, and I'm like, and I want to say to them, oh, really? Do you research Procter and Gamble? You research, but you know, I don't want to come across as flippant or whatever.
Right. I think when people say things like that, what they're really saying is, I haven't heard of your company before, and I want to make sure that I'm not going to get scammed, or that it's legit, or that what are the chemicals used in your products. That's really what they're saying, is that they need more information about the company. And so one of the things you could follow up with would be a question. What would you ask them besides saying, well, do you check on all the other companies? What is a different way you could ask a question that kind of would put their mind at ease?
What are your concerns?
Great. Exactly. Yeah. So what kind of concerns do you have you heard of Melaleuca before? Because so if you're asking those 3 questions, remember those ones I gave you, you're asking if they've heard of Melaleuca before. And they could be like, no, I've never heard of it.
Well, I just think of, there's a lady here in Silverdale, you know, and she went through the presentation, we met for lunch, and she shops with Grove, you know, which is putting together products that other companies make. And we've talked a lot, but she's still like, oh, I just haven't really had the chance to sit down and research you yet. So it's, I mean, she has something to stand on. And then there's that fear, you know, that, you know, you got it in B&I. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And I've heard this from other people in B&I. Well, then I've been in B&I for a couple of years, and if people aren't doing business with me, is that implying that there's a problem in one of those categories? You know, they know me. Is it they don't like me or they don't trust me?
Right. So it's the man money machine. Is it you? Are you offering them the right products? Or is it the money? Right? So it has to be one of those reasons. So you could say, oh, have I done something? Like, have I not explained it enough? Do you feel like I've educated you about what it is? Is it something with me? Is it something with the products that I offered you? And she'll be like, oh, you know, then you'll know.
But if you say, oh, is it me? Is anybody ever going to say, yes, it's you?
You never know, but they sure the heck ain't going to say it to your face.
No.
Right? But it will help you get down to what really is going on.
Okay.
What really is the objection? Because, you know, and you can use, there's a phrase that I heard in a book. What is it? Hold on a second. I'm guessing you haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, okay.
She's saying that she wants to research a little bit more. You can follow up by saying, I guess you haven't gotten around to researching Melaleuca yet.
Okay.
So the book that I am talking about is called, hold on a second. It's in my Audible. I listened to it like last year, and it really was kind of like, oh my gosh, it's called Exactly What to Say by Phil M. Jones. Exactly What to Say, the magic words of influence and impact. And he literally gives you like over 20 like different phrases and statements that you can use when you're talking with people in order to really find out what it is that's going on, what's really underneath all of the stuff.
Okay. So Exactly What to Say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Called Exactly What to Say.
By Phil Jones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a really good resource when I read it a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good, because I'll I'll text her that tomorrow and
Okay.
give her some stuff.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah. You could also give her a call and say, hey, I'd like to schedule a time to talk to you. Because remember, 10 times more likely to get a sale if you talk to them on the phone or video versus texting or chatting.
Okay.
Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. You got to do something different if you want to get different results. Right? I know it's scary, but I know you can do it.
Okay.
Okay. I will expect to hear from you tomorrow about that. Samantha or Courtney, did you guys have any questions or feedback or anything that just stuck out at you?
I just had a question.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a lot of people telling me no once I actually get them to contact me or talk to me.
Good.
But I don't get a lot of people wanting to talk to me. So I don't know if it's just because I'm not getting out there enough, or like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Okay. So one of the things that you heard me say in our previous workshops is you cannot just post one time and think people are gonna, right? That they're gonna see it or connect with you or have a need at the moment. So what you have to do is you have to hit on all of the different pain points throughout your marketing campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So creating a marketing campaign, a strategy of some sort, is what you're going to need to do in order to communicate the problem that you solve. It cannot be done in one post, one time. It's just not going to happen that way. You have to post multiple times, multiple strategies, multiple places, email, Facebook, Instagram, all the Pinterest, all the places, and creating a strategy for that. And it's, you know, you got to give yourself at least 3 weeks to really make an impact. They say it takes 16 touches for someone, 16 touches in order for them to say yes.
Okay.
Okay. So and engaging with people, like if someone comments on a post or something that you made, asking engaging questions about their struggles with parenthood or parenting or whatever, and they comment, engage with them, ask them more questions, have a dialogue. And then you can invite them to a phone call and say, hey, you know, I'd love to talk to you more about this or get your feedback, or, you know, let you know about, I have a solution. Would you like to hear about it? Can I call you? Would you like to take this to the next level and talk? You know? And you could say, most people feel like they're going to be judged, but the people that I've worked with have all said how non-judgmental they felt, and how it significantly improved their parent-child relationship.
Okay.
So you're taking that objection that you think people are going to say, and you're telling them the objection. Take the words right out of their mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, and Paula's saying it's about 5 to 10 touches for her industry and travel.
So just keep, can I just take the phone to my husband and you tell him that? No, just kidding, I won't do. He's like, you're not making any money. I'm like, I know. Anyway.
It takes time, and it also, you know, it takes time. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. It's just not. It's not going to happen overnight. And word of mouth referrals, like having other people share on your behalf, can be really powerful.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Courtney, did you have any questions?
No, that was pretty much where I'm at, where it's like, well, how do I get people's feet in my door, you know, so that we can actually get the conversation going without me chasing them. So definitely sharing more, and I'm learning to be more of myself. So I don't want to attract just anybody.
No, you don't. You want to attract the right people, right?
Right.
Right. So
ain't nobody got time for those other people.
right. But, you know, be the example, right? So be the example of what the Beachbody lifestyle looks like. Share about it, you know, that this is what you do and this is why you do it. This is what your story is. And maybe somebody out there can relate. And ask people if they can relate, you know. Paula, did you have any questions? Feel free to add it in. Oh, she said bye. Okay. I thought she was saying, oh yeah, go girl. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the call today. And if you have any additional needs, please feel free to reach out to me. Like, I'm pretty accessible and I answer questions and stuff like that all the time for people. And if you want to talk further about working together, I'd be happy to have that conversation with you as well. But no pressure. So I just wanted to be able to offer you guys something to try and help. I just love to help. And that's really, truly what it's about for me, is I just want to help people make more money and have successful businesses. That is my goal.
Well, and we appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Margaret. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.